Everybody, happy Tuesday. Hope you're having a great day. Yesterday, I just wanted you to get the 7 laws of art in your brain using the mnemonic device, See Me Burp. Contrast, movement, emphasis, balance, unity, rhythm, proportion. And then I explained that we're going to start with knowledge. We have to know what the laws are. And now we're going to go to comprehension to understand how an artist might use them in a photograph or a painting, or even a meme, any sort of visual communication. In this case, let's start with contrast. Contrast is the difference between two things: big, small, rough, smooth, loud, soft. In this case, I would say red and green are the contrasting colors. The contrast between red and green, makes the red apple really stand out. Red and green are opposite colors, as you may recall from middle school. Red and green, yellow, purple, and blue and orange are complementary colors. Notice there's also repetition, rhythm, the repetition of the apple shape. A lot of rhythm and repetition in this painting as well. This is at the Milwaukee Public Art Museum, and I hope we can go there on a field trip this spring. Notice the contrast between the smooth, very realistic texture of the face and the clothing, and then the kind of the rough background. When I squint, my eye goes to the white bib right underneath the man's face. It seems to be the brightest area. It's contrasted against the dark jacket. Notice also, so that's emphasis. That's where your eye goes first. That's the area that's emphasized, the focal point. Notice how the pitchfork also repeats in the bib of his shirt, and then it's upside down in the window behind them. This has a lot of rhythm, repetition of the thick brush stroke. This composition, if you take out that little triangle on the left and the white area in the sidewalk, if you take those out, it's too heavy on the other side. It would be out of balance. Notice how this is a composition that's pretty much symmetrically balanced. It's the same on both sides. And the lines from perspective, the orthogonal lines that all go to the vanishing point is right where I'm assuming the viewer wants, or the artist wants you to look, the negative space between the two figures at the table. When you squint, notice how the lamppost really stands out because it's the lightest light against the darkest dark, which gives it a clear focal point. There's also contrast in opposite ideas. So it's a conceptual sort of contrast. It's day, but it's night. If you notice, the sky is day and the bottom part is night. Contrast, movement, emphasis, balance, unity. What unifies a composition? In the Starry Night that we saw for a second before, it was the use of these thick, repeating brush strokes. The linear nature of Picasso's Guernica unifies it. Here again, the brush strokes and the colors sort of bring everything together, unify it. But notice the heavy emphasis on diagonal, directional flow, the movement of your eye through a composition. This artist has created a clear focal point with where are we supposed to look, where the brightest area, the man's shirt, is illuminated. And lastly, I went through these really fast. I hope you got a little bit of knowledge there, or a little bit of understanding how artists might use these laws. But even in a meme, I'm guessing that in your daily life, you're exposed to more memes than you are exposed to works of fine art. But even for a meme to be successful, it's going to use any sort of picture or any sort of visual communication is going to be using these laws, whether the artist is doing it consciously or not. Notice how there's a very clear path for your eye. You first notice, if you squint, you notice the largest, brightest area against a dark background would be the blonde woman. And she's literally pointing to lead your eye to the next place, which is the cat's head. You'll see this in some classical paintings and some paintings from the Italian Renaissance, where people in the paintings will actually point to lead your eye to something. Now, if the cat's head were black against a black chair, it wouldn't pop out